Hey,
This is
worries,
Hayden
mate.
from SHC TV, and today I'm very lucky to be joined over Zoom by Aston Brown ahead of his fight this Friday at the Ravenscraig Regional Sports Facility in Glasgow. So, yeah, mate, like I say, how are you doing today?
Good, mate. Everything's going well. Camp's going well. No complaints, mate. Just ready to fight next Friday.
100%, mate. So, yeah, what I wanted to sort of start with, if we go back to, the beginning, how did you first sort of get into boxing?
Yeah, it was my brother that took me, mate, when I was like, I think I was almost 9. He took me and I never left, mate, and he never went back. He had braces at the time and never went back, and I just loved it. Just loved the sport, mate. Thrived off it, loved fighting, and fast forward all these years, I'm still involved in 33 now, and I'm still doing it.
Then, obviously, you went on to have a very successful amateur career, being in the
Hmm.
GB squad with names like Josh Taylor, Anthony Joshua, Joe Cordina. How sort of
Yeah.
was your amateur career, and were there any moments that sort of stick out to you the most? How was it?
Amazing, mate. I had a fantastic amateur career, almost 140 amateur fights. Commonwealth Games 2010, European Championships, World Championships, as you said, travelling the world with GB was just being on that GB setup was probably one of the pinnacles of my amateur career, and amongst amazing fighters. And today, some of the best fighters in the world.
100%, mate. So then, obviously, turning pro in 2015 on Josh Taylor's
Yeah,
undercard in at Meadowbank, how did you sort of find that transition? Do you feel like your style was suited to the pros? Yeah, how
yeah.
did you sort of find that?
Felt my style was more suited to the pros because when I done WSB, the World Series of Boxing and the amateurs for the British Lionhearts, I felt that the 5 rounds was better, and I even wanted more than 5 rounds. I felt, know what I mean? And then in the fights, that gave me a wee taste of the no head guards, smaller gloves, no vest, and I felt after that I wanted to turn pro, mate, and so I did. Know what I mean? I made the transition to the pro game, and here we are now.
Yeah, so then obviously, getting back into boxing after some time off.
Yeah,
Last year signing with Lee in and Let's Go Management. Then, you fought twice, once in your hometown of Glasgow, and then obviously the next time on Lee McGregor's undercard at Meadowbank,
yeah.
where your whole pro journey started. How was it to sort of get back in there and get your career back on again?
It was amazing, mate. It was because at one stage in my life, I thought it was over. Know what I mean? Through different circumstances, I thought that's over. I'm not going to get back. Know what I mean? Ages. I'm at the time's pushing on. Know what I mean? But then I started training again, and I still had all the stuff. I had it all. Know what I mean? I still was sharp. I was reacting well in sparring and stuff. And then I just decided, no, I'm getting back involved. I want to leave the game on my terms. Um, so aye, we're here now, mate, and it's been good. The last year's been good. Obviously, I've only had 2 fights in the last year, but again, it's I'm looking for the big fights. So I'm not just looking to fight on small shows and fight journeymen. I'm sort of pushing just because of my amateur background and the experience and my age as well now, looking to pull a big fight out of the bag. But I'm back out next Friday, a nice warm up fight for the beginning of the year, if you like to say, and then hopefully some big fights leading into the tail end of the year.
Yeah, so we'll dive into that fight. Obviously, just this coming Friday, obviously in Glasgow, a massive show filled with Scottish talent, top to bottom.
Yeah.
So how do you think how's training been going? And yeah, how's training been?
Mhm. Training's been amazing. I've made the transition back home. I was in Liverpool under the watchfly of Joe McInally and Declan O'Rourke for a year there with Josh Taylor, my good friend Josh. I was in that camp for a year, learned loads, know what I mean, and then decided to come back home again. Me and my partner just bought a new house and stuff like that. So a few things are changing. Decided to come back home, but training's been amazing. I've hooked up with a fantastic team, and we're getting the best at me, and I'm learning every day. And I think that's very important. I always say the day I stop learning and the day I feel I've hit my ceiling is probably the day you're going to be like, is it there anymore? So no, I feel as if I'm still learning loads, and I'm ready to put on a big statement this year, mate. Know what I mean? In the £160 division.
Yeah, 100%. So, obviously you just said there just a minute ago, you want to keep kicking on, you want to get the big fights, that's where you belong, the
Mhm,
big fights. Are there any sort of names? Obviously, I saw your interview with Andrew McCart for IFL,
mhm,
and you mentioned Troy Williamson. Is that
mhm.
sort of fight you may be pushing for?
Aye, I would love that fight. Again, I was quite vocal about it. I know Troy. Know what I mean? He's a lovely guy. I think his days at 154 are well behind him now. The move to 160 is a good move for the probably sort of tail end of his career, and why not? It'd be a fantastic fight. But again, I know the game. It need to be on a big platform. It need to be on a big show, and there would need to be good money involved for both of us. So, aye, Troy Williamson. There's a few other names there. See, to be honest with you, anybody at £160 on one of the big platforms, I'm happy to fight.
100%. So obviously, you spoke just there a minute ago about your relationship with Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Obviously being in the GB squad with him. He's got a very big fight, 2 weeks yesterday, so 2 weeks on Saturday, 25th of May,
Mhm.
in Leeds against Jack Catterall, his rival. How do you sort of see that one going? Obviously you've been with Josh for a very long time, one
Yeah.
of his really, really close friends. How do you see that one going, and do you think Josh gets the job done?
Yes, I think Josh gets the job done. I think he gets it done in good in a fantastic fashion this time, within 6 rounds. And that's my opinion. I mean, boxing's an opinionated game, and that's my opinion. I think he'll stop him within 6 rounds. I think what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, he's back to his old Josh Taylor. The Josh Taylor we know when he won the Super Series, when he became undisputed champion of the world. That Josh Taylor, and I think that's if that Josh Taylor turns up, he destroys anybody. Never mind just Jack Catterall. So I think Jack Catterall is in for a hard night come 2 weeks.
So at the end of your career, where do you sort of want to be? What do you want to achieve in boxing? You want to start maybe pushing on for titles? What do you sort of want to
Yeah.
achieve with it?
Well, by the end of this year, I want to be at least pushing for some sort of eliminator or a shot at a recognised title or a Commonwealth title or the British title. Talking about where I want to be at the end of my career. If any boxer doesn't say they want to be a world champion, then I don't think they should be in the game. Well, I don't mean that. I just mean for somebody with my caliber, at my level I boxed at an amateur and that, I want to hit the highest level. Know what I mean? That's obviously being a world champion. But again, I understand boxing today, and I want to be pushing for recognised titles by the end of the year, and then we'll take it for there. So I take one fight at a time a day instead of going, I'm going to be a world champion next year. I'm just taking one fight at a time, but I'd love to be in a strong position to fight for a recognised title by the end of the year.
100%, mate. So lastly, have you got anything you want to promote, say for your socials, any sponsors, anything like that?
I want to give a shout out to all my sponsors. I can't remember them all off by heart, but a shout out to all the sponsors. If it wasn't for them, this journey wouldn't be possible. All my team as well, everybody that's backed me, especially getting back in the game, and I'll do them all proud. I'll do Scotland proud.
100%, mate. Thank you very much for your time, man. Yeah, we'll
No
definitely
worries,
speak
mate.
sometime.
Okay, mate. Thank you. Cheers, mate.